Thank you, House Chair. House Chair, the ACDP welcomes the recent economic bounce back in the last quarter of 2020, which resulted in October's dismal tax collection shortfall figures being revised downwards by an estimated 100 billion. Now, the budget deficit for 2020 is still, however, estimated to be a massive 689 billion or 14% of GDP. When one then has regard to the fiscal framework going forward, it becomes clear that any tax windfall must be largely used to reduce the spiral in public debt and debt service costs, which are crowding out much needed expenditure on health, education, and crime prevention. As other speakers indicated, gross loan debt is to increase from 3.95 trillion rand to a staggering 5.2 trillion rand in the outer years. And clearly, a strict fiscal consolidation path is necessary. The proposed fiscal framework aims to stabilize debt at 88.9% of GDP by 25-26. Now, debt service costs will rise from 232.9 billion in 2021 to 338.6 billion in 23-24. That's 19.2% of tax revenue. That's 1 rand in every 5 rands collected will be spent on debt service costs, which is indeed a very serious situation. Whilst this past month's announcements on the fiscal framework is somewhat better than previously thought, there are still significant risks to National Treasury's economic growth projections. If these projections, together with planned cuts in government expenditure, do not materialize, then the fiscal consolidation path required to stabilize public debt levels will not materialize. Let's look at some of the risks. Include new waves of COVID-19 infections, ongoing load shedding, rising public debt, additional credit rating downgrades. And when one considers these risks, the 2021 GDP growth projection of 3.3% appears rather optimistic, that given the sharp contraction of 7% in GDP. However, as far as revenue proposals are concerned, the ACDP welcomes the withdrawal of 40 billion rand increases in taxes over the medium term and the adjustment of tax brackets for inflation. Enhancing SARS capacity is also to be welcomed, as this bodes well for the collection of taxes going forward. Lastly, the minister must hold the line on expenditure. We need good stewardship of our resources to avoid spiraling debt and a sovereign debt crisis. I thank you, House Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Swart.